Good evening and welcome to Friday with the Fellas. I guess since this is the Fellas because there's two of us plural, so yeah, okay, with the Fellas. Uh right, looking around, where's everybody
Missing in
But it
action, but it's me and
is
you, the dynamic duo, man.
hey. It is what it is. It's good to be here though. It is Friday the 3rd of October. Big sports weekend coming up. Big sports weekend coming up. We got the NFL starting. Well, we're going to get the NFL going. We got the Major League playoffs starting, second round. And, of course, we got college football. And we got a little bit of exhibition, what do you call it, preseason hockey going on right now. A little bit of preseason basketball going on pretty soon. So, hey, it's that time of the year where all the sports are just melted into one little pot. We did have a
Well,
game Thursday. We did have
well,
a
I'm about to
game
say, I'm
Thursday.
glad you. I'm glad you didn't say anything scary because I know it's October, and typically, if you put a one in front of that three, it'd be Friday the 13th. But it's only Friday the
Yeah,
3rd, so it shouldn't be too much scary stuff going on this weekend. But
but
what's up, the Mad Yinzer? How you doing, man?
good old Robbie. Love you, Robbie, man. Um, Thursday we had a happening. It was called Thursday Night Football, and it was between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. And this game was supposed to be all Rams. Eh. This is the NFL. Any given Thursday, Sunday, Monday, things could happen. And the Rams showed that was one of those things. San Francisco, I don't know if it's just because San Francisco is that good. They have that much willpower in them right now. I know one thing that Mac and Cheese right now, he's cooking it up. He's out there throwing dimes. Now, I'm not saying that Matthew Stafford had a bad game either. That dude was throwing dimes too. It wasn't his fault they lost. Two fumbles, one by Blake Corum and one by Kyrie Williams. But the one by Kyrie Williams really kind of cost him the game. That should have been, he should have held on to the ball. Yeah,
And that would have been a
we know what
touchdown, right? That would have been the game.
That would have been a touchdown. And I think there was a couple of questionable calls from McVay too. Like that fourth and goal when they just ran right into the meat of the defense. Come on, dude. You can be more
In the
creative than that.
overtime, yes, in overtime.
You can be more creative than that. Really going to run right into where they're stopping. I don't understand that whole situation, but I guess every coach has a bad game. I think he admitted to that fact in the presser after that. So, I mean, it is what it is. Um,
So, as much as we could take away from LA not doing what they were supposed to do in key moments, let's give credit because, man, I like you said, macaroni and cheese. And for those of you who don't know macaroni and cheese, we're talking about Mac Jones, former
who?
Alabama quarterback, uh, former Patriots quarterback that had one good season and none good after that. But we got to give credit to not only the quarterback being revitalized there, but also the coaching. I mean, considering no Ricky Pearsall, no Brandon Ayuk, no well,
Bosa.
no Nick Bosa on defense, and no George Kittle. So these are all stars, everyone out there. These are stars that are on a team, people that were vital to their success, and they're not there, and yet they still found ways to win. I just think that, yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. I think they found ways to win, and you got to give Shanahan his chops, man. I mean, McVay is a great coach, but so is Kyle Shanahan, and they found a way to win the game. Some Lady Luck goes into your favor sometimes when you get a fumble at the end of the game, or you get some calls go your way. They won, and right now, what are they? 3-1, 4-1. They're 3-1,
Four
right?
and one. 4-1.
4-1. Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Not me. I'll be honest with you. With all
I'm telling me neither.
these losses of players, but got to give them credit, man. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think people are giving San Francisco. I mean, I was one of them. I said San Francisco would probably be at the bottom along with Seattle, but it's amazing. Both them teams are doing really well. I mean, the Rams aren't no slouch either. They're 3-2, and it is what it is for the Rams. But I think the Rams will come out with it by the end of the year. It's my saying. It's not how you start, but how you finish. And that's the whole man. And everybody likes to give people their flowers way, way, way too early in the season. Green Bay, and those things. It's one of those. It's what's happening now. People like to be on, not what could happen later on. Yeah, no, Sonja.
That's what we said.
Yeah. Hey.
Where's Sonja? And of course, we have no JTrain, we have no Kevo, but
no
what we do have is the dynamic duo. Man, we're gonna rock it tonight, right now.
We're gonna do that. Yeah, it was a very entertaining football game. It went to overtime. I mean, you couldn't ask for much better. The blocked field goal was probably another reason why the Rams were in there. What is up with the blocked field goals this year? I heard there's been already 18 blocked field goals in this season. You know what the record is?
No.
22. And we haven't even got past, week 6 yet. So
that tells me the teams need to tighten up on special teams, because that seems like pausing. Yeah.
I noticed the difference between kickers that have played in college and in the NFL versus kickers that played like soccer. Like our kicker, Jake Bates. Dude just kicks the ball. You ever notice that when they do, the guys that get blocked kind of hesitate before they kick because they're trying to find a way where to put the ball at if it's a long kick? They have a tendency to do that if they've played in the NFL and college. When they do it in soccer, they just kick the ball. They don't give a damn. They know where it's going. So they
must have they probably have a Ray Finkel post-traumatic stress disorder with laces not being out. So, I mean, maybe the laces aren't out.
Yeah, it's just a dynamic duo, man. Yep. James is Batman. I'm Robin. That's how it works.
Man, pull it down. Pull the mask down. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it was, like I said, it was a good game. Surprising game. People picked the Rams to win by 14. This has been a crazy season so far for football. I mean, things that you think are going to happen aren't happening. I can't even win in pick'ems no more. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm like, whatever. Whatever I can freaking do and get in the picks right, I'm gonna do.
I mean, the pick'ems, like I said, I'm in second place right now with the pick'ems, second from the bottom. So I mean, I'm doing horrible right now with pick'ems because you just can't determine who's going to win a game. You think you can look at the numbers, you can look at who's not going to be in the game, and you can look at the analytics. You got to throw analytics out the window right now, because right now no one knows what's really going on with football. It seems like there's a lot of parity going on, and for instance, I think Baltimore is going to lose this upcoming game because of all the players but I may be wrong. Cooper Rush may find a way to just throw some magic in the dust, I mean, into the wind and throw a 500-yard game and 5 touchdowns. Who knows? Man, I just can't call it right now.
I mean, you look at all the injuries that Baltimore has, and you compare that with all the injuries that San Francisco has. I mean, it could work that way. I mean, Houston's dealing with their own injuries, but they're supposed to have a dynamic front four on defense. Their offensive line is like whatever. So you never know what could happen in this game. It's the same kind. Minnesota and Cleveland. Oh my God, so many guys are missing from Minnesota right now. I don't even know how they're going to function. Their half of their offensive line is gone. The backup center to the center is out. So they're working on reserves there. Van Ginkel's not going to be playing in this game again. And Cleveland doesn't even have that. Cleveland's probably is the healthiest team right now I've seen on a record right now. They have people
especially
that are out.
defensively.
Yeah, and I mean I feel they might pull the upset on Minnesota. They did it to Green Bay, and I think Green Bay's a better team than Minnesota right now. So why couldn't they do it to Minnesota?
And being under center with Carson Wentz, he's not a mobile quarterback. So if you missing your second center, you got problems. So that
Yes.
interior is going to be an issue, and that pass rush from Cleveland is going to give him the business and give him fits. So yeah, you might be right. That could be an upset. I might need to go change my pick'ems because I definitely have Minnesota picked. Yeah.
I was just telling Nate the same thing. I was like, hey, dude, I might go and change my. He was laughing at me. I said, okay, you laughing at me, but you see all these injuries on this, and you're playing a defense like Cleveland? Yeah, dude.
And to get a spark probably from Dylan Gabriel,
Yeah.
considering what Jackson Dart did for the Giants. Hey, Pink Panther, how you doing today? Hope you're doing well. What trash y'all talking about?
We're not there yet, dear Pink fan.
We hadn't gotten there yet. But that post-traumatic stress disorder is kicking in.
That whole line right there, Pink Fanfer, is awesome. Thank you for that, and thank you, and thank you for the promos. Your promos are awesome, girl. You doing your thing.
Excellent work.
Yep, excellent work. So we had some baseball finishes this week too. Best of 3 series. The Yankees and the Bo Sox was one of the most popular ones because they're enemies from like birth. So the Yankees took that series 2-1. Probably Boston could have won the second one, but due to their own failings, they did not. Let's see. Then we had the Dodgers.
Let's give Jazz Chisholm some respect, though. He did play a really good game, though, for the Yankees. I think had he not played the game he played, they probably, like you said, Boston would have definitely won that game. They could have closed that series out.
Yeah.
And that's what Keith was probably fussing about because there's no way that they should have made those change-ups in the first game at all.
Yeah, Aja Wilson, that's my girl. She should be the MVP almost every dang year.
Well, she's got 4 in a row, and she tied. Is it Swoops or Cooper? No, Cooper. Who she tied? Yeah, Cooper. Yeah, so Cooper, 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm. I like Aja.
Impressive.
She's a great player. She's an awesome player. But then we had the Keith was going through all that. He's like they should never kept Chisholm on the bench. Yeah, I'm agreeing with him. You don't keep your best players on the bench. What are you, nuts? But that's the reason why he wants to get rid of Aaron Boone. But then in the National League, we're gonna go both ways here. The Dodgers swept. Yeah. Pause.
Kind of. How about not at all?
Right. Yeah. So the Dodgers swept the Reds, Cincinnati Reds. That is 2-0. Everybody pretty much figured that was going to happen. Too much power with the Dodgers. They won the first game 10-5, and I think they won 8-something the next game. So it just too much for the Reds to handle. In the American League, then we had the Tigers and the Cleveland Indians / Guardians. I keep calling them the Indians, but that's what they are to me. I don't care. Okay. I'm old school. I don't like the Guardians. It just reminds me too much of Marvel Universe. But anyway, the Tigers came out of that series with the 2-1 win. Justin Verlander. I'm going back. I'm going way back. Tarek Skubal, dude, the first game, 14 strikeouts, and they took him out. This is why I don't like Hinch. Hinch takes out pitchers when they're doing really well, and I don't understand. He could have got 15 strikeouts and set the major league record in the playoffs for strikeouts in a playoff game, but no, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to take him out, but fortunately, Will Vest pitched really well in the game one. Game two, Cleveland showed signs of life. They came back, won that game 6-1. Very good for them. That's when I said, you know what? If the Tigers can't win that game, they're not going to win game three. Oops, I lied. They did. And
well, there you go, man. This is your team, and I know you were on the edge of your seat. They lost. They melted a tremendous lead away in the regular season, but looks like they're bouncing back. Look like the Tigers are going to come back and make up a really good matchup against the team that had to buy, the Seattle Mariners. Yeah, so great stories on both sides. I mean, you guys, if you're able to beat them and get to the World Series, then that how they played in the regular season towards the end is all washed away. It makes a really good story, like about a great comeback story. And the Seattle Mariners, of course, if they win, they never been to this the World Series.
World Series. Yeah, never
Never at all.
The Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns of the MLB. That's what they are. They haven't been in a World Series at all. They haven't touched World Series water. So
and they may never.
And they may never. But I'll tell you what. I told you about my preseason pick. I picked the Dodgers and the Tigers. But as we got closer to the okay, Saints, they'll be fine. They're building something.
Yes.
But the Tigers, I'm kind of iffy on. The Dodgers, I'm kind of iffy on. My fandom is saying Dodgers and Tigers, but my realistic baseball cap is saying maybe Phillies and Mariners would be a great World Series because you got the Mariners. I just don't think the Dodgers have enough to beat the Phillies because that's the next team they're playing. By the way, the Cubbies also took out the Milwaukee Brewers. Kind of surprised not the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm sorry, the San Diego Padres.
Yes.
I'm not surprised. I'm kind of surprised by that because I thought San Diego would have a better showing than the Chicago Cubs. But the Cubs came out there and played. It's the only Chicago team I like, by the way. So Chicago is going to be out there, and they're going to be playing Milwaukee
Brewers. Yes.
So it's going to be another like Packers-Bears kind of rivalry because it's going to be the Wisconsin versus Illinois kind of connection there.
The Brewers are really legit, though. I don't know if Chicago has enough for them. I mean, but we'll see. Because obviously the Brewers are very young, and so they lack the experience of being at this juncture of the playoffs. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think also too that Milwaukee has a history of bowing out early in the playoffs too. I'm not saying history is something that analytics go by, but at the same time, I mean it's another year, different players. So, and they did look good for a time, stretch during this season. They kind of dropped out, and the Phillies kind of took over that whole conference lead. But they've been playing pretty good ball. They haven't been playing bad ball or good ball. They've been playing ball just to get you there. So we'll see what happens against the Cubbies. So our matchups that are coming up is New York and Toronto. Yeah. I don't know, man. Toronto had New York's number this year too. I don't know. It's going to be a long series for New York, and New York can't be winning. Toronto plays small ball. They're good with the small ball and the long ball, but they're good. They're good with the small ball. If New York can't play small ball, as Keith always alludes to this, and I agree with him because New York likes to win a lot of games with long ball. If they can't play small ball, they're not winning a series. I just think, and the pitching for Toronto was fair. I think New York has a better pitching staff, but at the same time, I think that Toronto has just as good hitters. I'm not going to say better because, you got Aaron Judge and all them crews over there in the Yankees organization. What do you feel about that series?
So when I listened to Keith and Jack this morning, I knew they were going to homer it up and go with the Yankees. But I think, I mean, I don't think there's a problem. I think they could win the series. Like you said, I agree with you about the pitching. But one thing Keith was really nervous about was the decision making of the of the manager. Aaron Boone. So
Mhm.
what if he fumbles it up again during this time with this a better team? So you really can't do that. So I'm thinking that there's a possibility. Like you said, the Blue Jays have the number of the Yankees, and they have a really good record at home. They're 54-27 at home. The Yankees are 44-37 away. So it seems like some good matchups. But like you said, it's going to be on Aaron Judge, MVP hopeful. I think that potentially he can get it, but if he doesn't get it, he's really got to shine for them to really come out with a series win in this one. But I think the Yankees have a possibility of winning. I'll lean that direction with the Yankees.
Okay. I'm gonna pick Toronto because I'm not. That's a
I'm
fan
not
pick.
mad at that pick. I'm not mad at that pick.
I'm not. That's a fan pick though because I hate the Yankees. But anyway, and I told Keith this several times. He's like, I understand. I said, yeah, you hate winners. I said, yeah, well, they ain't winning so much lately, so to them anyway. Then we have the Dodgers and the Phillies. This is another good series, and Phillies have taken this series also during the regular season. I'm gonna go first. I say Philly. Well, I'm gonna be simple. I'm gonna go with the Phillies because I think the Phillies do have the Dodgers number, and the Dodgers. They've had too many bad superlatives this year. They got cranked at home by a couple of teams that they shouldn't have got cranked at home by. Colorado was one of them. They put 18 runs on them. That was a record breaker. It was like 16 runs. And then another team came in there. It was a little better team, and they put 18 runs on them. When you see that kind of stuff, and those are records against a team that was supposed to be so good, I'm not saying the Dodgers can't win. I'm not saying that. But those are kind of things that make you go, what's going on? So their bullpen is not the greatest, but their starting pitching is really good. Phillies is just one of those teams that they're not overly talented, but they get the job done. And they've been doing that to the Dodgers all this year. So I would have to say I'm going with the Phillies in this one just because of that. But like I
The
said, I'm
Phillies
sure the
always have
Dodgers.
good pitching too.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, with that said, I'm going with the champs. I got to go with the champs. I just think that Otani is there in rare form. Did he go for 50 and 50 this year?
Yep, he did that.
Yeah, and I just think that this is like the situation we spoke on with Aaron Judge. They're gonna get the best out of Otani. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Is Mookie Betts playing?
I think he is going to be playing. Yes,
Okay.
I'm not sure that I got to go back and see what their let's see Yankees here. Let's see if they got him on injured reserve. Because the last time I thought they saw he was going to be in there. I don't see him on the injury. Oh, because I got the wrong injury report, dummy. All right, here we go. This one right here. All right, who we got here? Uh, Philly Dodgers. We got Will Smith. Yeah, I don't see him on the injury report, so he is playing.
Okay. I just think that this is where your stars have to come out and shine because
Mm-hmm.
it's a good matchup. I think both teams are really really good, but I just think that I got to give it to the guys who've been there. And I mean, they've both been there, but more recently. And I know we had this debate about how what are the chances of the Dodgers repeating. I think it's slim to none, but I think it's not right here. I think they may get there. I think they may get to the World Series, but they just may lose by whomever they're going to play on the other side. But I just think there's too much talent, especially since they paid for it. You know,
Right, true.
high price talent. So
Well, you can ask
I'm
the New
going
York.
with.
You can ask the Yankees about having a lot of talent on there, not winning World Series. So, I mean,
Yes,
that goes to and from. It's not about the how much you pay for them; it's the production that those people put out at that certain time. And
correct.
hey, you can't go wrong either way picking either one of these teams because both of them are World Series class teams anyway, to my opinion.
Absolutely.
We also have the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs playing in the National League there. And I'm gonna go with the Cubs because I like the Cubbies. But I know you're gonna go with Milwaukee because you like Milwaukee.
I just like the fact that they're young, that they paid very minimally for how much. Okay, they paid 115, I think, on their for their current roster versus what New York and what the Dodgers are paying is astronomical. So and they're here. They got to buy. So that just speaks to the talent of what's going on with this team, and I just think that they have the opportunity to get closer to the World Series than the Cubs. So, but I could be surprised. I think I'll be surprised if the Cubs win the series. But I'm going with Milwaukee on this one.
Okay, fair. All right, then we're going to the last series, which is the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners. Of course, I'm gonna be a homer and say the Tigers. So, well, you go with what you know there. I like the Tigers because they got grit. Other than that, I mean, their pitching is not the greatest. You have one good pitcher. He's the best pitcher in the major leagues. He's the best pitcher. Maybe Otani, maybe he might be all right, but I think Scooble, he's a cut above the rest. But the pitching staff that they have after that, eh, eh, and I had to give that to edge to the Mariners. But I've seen that when the Tigers play teams that they play them with grit when they need to win games. So I don't know, but I'm picking the Tigers just because I'm a homer. Anyway,
And I'm going to be a homer with you. I'm going to pick the Tigers as well. I just think that the storyline in regards to how great they played, how far they fell off, and how resilient they were to bounce back. So I just think that with that said, they got a run here. They can make a big run with the team they got. There's no major injuries. I think they got an opportunity here. So we'll see. I think they're going to beat the Mariners. The Mariners. This is great. It's been a great story. Cal Riley has been a great story
mm-hmm.
for them. That one of 10 catchers possibly to get the MVP award. He got 60 home runs. It's been great. It's been awesome. But I think that it stops here. I think the Tigers are probably going to be too much for them because they were talented all from the beginning and how they were playing. It was just unfathomable how they fell off. It didn't make any sense. And so, like you said, playing the fundamentals, what they weren't doing, it seemed like they got back to that. So in the playoffs, so I think they're going to go past. They're going to beat the excuse me, they're going to beat the Mariners.
Do you think that Cal will win the MVP?
I think the storyline should lean towards him because of how hard it is for catchers to get this. Aaron Judge, if I had to just base off merit and what and how the late performances was, Aaron Judge put on a show towards the end. But so did Cal. So I would give it to him because he's a catcher and what he's done as a catcher. It's just and I think he broke the record for how many home runs a catcher in the season. Yes, so
Catcher, how many? Yeah, he broke a lot of catcher records this
he
season.
should get it. He should
He
get it.
should, yeah, in my opinion, he should get it too. That's because my favorite position in baseball is catcher. Lance Parrish used to be one of my icons. I used to like a lot Lance Parrish for the Tigers in the '84 World Series. That dude was a gem. And then Dingle on our side, he's a very good catcher too. He threw out Ramirez the last game of the series. I mean, it was a dime he threw him out. And you don't throw that guy out too many times. That dude I think he stole like 44 bases and only got caught stealing like 5 times or something like that. So it's rare you catch that guy stealing, but it got him not once but twice. But that second time was the pitcher that got him. But dude, I love the catcher position. It's kind of like a cornerback position. They got to work just as hard as the pitchers do because they got to know who they're facing and stuff like that. And Dingle he calls the pitches. So Scooble don't have to do all that waving off and stuff like that. He just calls the pitches. Say, you're going to pitch here. This is what the pitch I want you to throw. Blah blah blah. So they take control.
It's one of the more cerebral positions of baseball for sure.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
So moving on to college de football. So we have a couple of interesting games in the top 25. We have number 16 Vanderbilt playing number 10 Alabama at Alabama. Alabama's an 11.5-point favorite, but that seems to be a bit high to me.
I'm going to have to agree with you.
Got their behinds last year. I don't know why they're not taking that into consideration. But, yes, Pink Fanfer, I know you're a Tide fan.
It's rolled toilet paper roll Tide. I don't know.
That's that LSU hate coming out. Look, she said, yeah, Vandy did beat us last year, but not again. Vandy's got some talent on that roster.
And not only do they have talent, they are undefeated as well, and they've been blowing out their teams like diarrhea. I mean, so I don't know. I just think that they might do the same thing to Alabama. I don't know. We'll see. I think that Alabama has definitely they got themselves back on track after that ousting they had by Florida State. And so, yes, you did beat them, but you didn't score any points in the second half against Georgia. So I'm still a little bit alarmed by that. So, and Georgia, they scored 1 touchdown in the third quarter, and it was 21-24 the rest of the way. So I don't know. I think this might be another setup game again with Vanderbilt. LSU has to play them too on the 18th. And I'm scared too. I'll be honest with you. It's not a team I don't think anybody in the SEC wants to face because that's the Ivy League of the South, everyone. All the smart kids go there and play. And then they're talented too. It's definitely a different SEC.
Yeah, it is. It's different Big Ten, different SEC. Hey, Vandy's been in the middle of a lot of upsets. If you look at their history, I know Michigan got upset by Vandy one year. So, and it was a non-ranked Vandy team, and not like a ranked one we got here. It was an unranked Vandy team that beat a ranked Michigan team. So, hey, Vandy's a good school. They're a good football school. They might not have all the flash and of LSU and Alabama and Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and USC and them kind of schools, but you get caught slipping, they got you.
It's one of them because the SEC right now is comprised of many different but great teams. And so to me, this as we go down the line, this SEC is going to cannibalize itself. A lot of these great teams are going to start losing to each other. And at some point, you're going to have 2 and 3 lost teams probably still going to the playoffs at the end of the season.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it's all about. It's going to end up being, 2 conferences in the college football Division 1A. It's going to be Big Ten and SEC. I don't think they're going to call them Big Ten or SEC. I just think they're going to, I don't know what they're going to call them, really, to tell you the truth. We did the North-South thing, but that didn't bode well.
Let's not go back there again.
Right, let's not go back. Then we have number 3 Miami taking on number 18 Florida State in Tallahassee. And Miami's a 4.5-point favorite. I like both teams are well. Let me have it. Miami is playing really well, or else they wouldn't be ranked number 3. They are doing everything pretty good right now. I think they're one of the teams to beat right now. And Florida State, I'm not too sure about that. I'm going with Miami on this one, and I think they might beat them by more than 4.5. To tell you the truth, I don't take nothing
I
away
don't
from
know.
Florida State. They're scrappy, but
Who did Florida? I mean, I feel bad for even asking this. Who did Florida State play last play?
Florida State played Virginia, in which they
And
lost
they lost. Yeah, but it was a close game though. It was a very close game.
2
And
overtime
yeah, exactly.
to
But
an
I
unranked
think
Virginia team.
yeah, but I think Miami's going to have some trouble with Florida State. Florida State has a decent defense too. And Carson Beck didn't play such a good game the last game he played. So I don't know. I like Florida State at home. They're at home. I think they might have an opportunity to win this one and upset Miami. So I'm going to go with Florida State here.
Okay,
Yeah,
it'd be
that's what
tough.
I picked them. So, but we'll see if I'm still there
Wait,
near the middle.
actually, Pink fan for you guys are playing at home this
We're
game
playing at
versus
home.
Vandy.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't have to be that scared because you are playing at home. But again, Vanderbilt did beat Alabama at home last year, which I don't understand why they keep drawing them at home. That's kind of unfair, anyway, isn't it? Let's see. Other games. LSU's not playing this week, I see.
Yeah, we'll play South Carolina next week, I believe.
Yeah. I just want to let you know that we do have a service game between Navy and Air Force. And let me tell you, they don't know if Air Force can hang with Navy right now. They don't know if they got enough against their defense. And Navy's defense is pretty good. We've been, when I look at Navy, I focus on their offense because they have such a service academies have such stagnant offenses in the first place. It's always run. And Harvath is a guy that is a run first type of quarterback. And if
Right.
you force him to pass, he's not the greatest guy to do that. He's like a second running back that just knows how to throw the football. I'm being real with it. But their offense, once it gets moving, it'll get moving. But Air Force hasn't looked good in the last couple games they've played. I just don't see them winning that game at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you. I'm just going to go with Navy. I don't think Air Force has a shot here. I
Yeah,
just can't wait to watch the Army Navy game once it's time to play that. But yeah,
yeah.
the midshipmen should definitely win this game.
Yeah, they're 13.5-point favorites. I don't even think they might cover that without a doubt. It's just our Air Force is not good. Other Michigan's playing Wisconsin at home. People are calling that a trap game because they play USC next week. I don't think so. I think that they're playing one game at a time because that's all. This Michigan team is not the great. This isn't the 2022 Michigan Wolverines. Okay, 23 Michigan, not the national championship Wolverines by far. By far, they're not. Their
Yeah, but
offense looks like.
this isn't the Wisconsin of old either. They're not
Yeah,
even
this is true.
close.
Right.
They are bad, man. So this should be a good
And,
game for Michigan to take and add to their notch in the belt.
yeah,
So I
Bryce.
got Michigan in that game.
They need to start taking the breaks off that offense all around. Not just Bryce Underwood. Bryce Underwood has his moments, but I mean the offense seems like they play conservative offense for most of the game until they have to score, or if they can blow out a team, then they're going to let their hair fly. But it's like they're saying, "Oh, we don't want everybody to see what plays we have when we play big teams." Dude, you're going to have it. Doesn't This is college, okay? Their defenses are variable. So it doesn't make a difference. If you can stop them, you can stop them. So I think they just need to let the offense go a little bit more. We have number 12, Georgia, playing Kentucky. They're favored by 19.5 in that game. We have the Iowa State Cyclones taking on the Cincinnati team. And Cincinnati's favored in that game.
They're both good teams, but I'm going to go with Iowa State. I think that they're a tougher team. Cincinnati is really good, but I still got to go with Iowa State. I think they're still coming off a really good season last season, and they retain most of their players. I think they should win that game.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that there, Steve-O. We already covered that game. Yeah, Bourne was really good, but that's what happens when you have
San Francisco.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you have your former quarterback thrown to you too. When you have that chemistry. So that dude put up some numbers. I think he had 162 yards or something like that. That dude was balling. We have Illinois taking on Purdue. Number 22, Illinois, that is, taking on Purdue at Purdue. And we got, let's see how it is. I got that one. Number 24, Virginia, who beat Florida State last week, got into the top 25, and they're taking on Louisville. And Louisville is a 6.5 favorite. That's great. In the top 24, then you draw a team that can beat you. That's great.
I pick Virginia. I think their momentum should still continue on. I think they're going to win the game.
I think they'll be world beaters, yeah. Number 7, Penn State is taking on UCLA, and their line is 24.5, rightly so. UCLA is just like, they've completely fall off. They fell off like 5 years ago. Where is UCLA at? I'm used
they used to be good.
Yeah.
When Deshaun Foster got fired, he probably said, "Thank you. I'm glad to be out of this cluster. You know what?" So yeah, they have majorly fallen off UCLA. There's just no talent there. I know they were the last time they were good is when Chip Kelly was the coach, and they just went down from there. I don't know what to say. They usually have talent on both sides of the ball. It's just not there anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's the recruiting. Maybe it's NIL. Who knows? And
USC.
The quarterback that left Tennessee ended up there, and they are terrible.
Horrible. Number 9, Texas is taking on Florida. Texas is a 5.5-point favorite. Are we going to see if Arch Manning is going to improve upon his game, or is he just going to float along through the game?
This may be a trap game. I don't know. This could be. I picked Texas, but I could be wrong, man. That this has a smell of a trap game. Like I'm not sure. It's just we got to see Manning light this team up, and because Florida has a really good defense. They just don't have offense at all. They're pretty bad there. So if they
and defense seems to be a problem for Arch.
Yes, exactly. If he plays against a good defense, he gets rattled, and he doesn't really. He's not using his legs. I think for the most part, when they played against Ohio State, Ohio State laid out a blueprint on how you stop him if you have a good defense. So we'll see. But I'm still picking Texas to win this game.
Yeah, Texas has a defense too now. You know, aside from the Arch Manning show, Texas has a defense. There's a reason why they're ranked high. Is that defense is out cold. We got Boise State playing number 21 Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by 21.5. Do you think that's too much for Boise State?
No, they're going to cover. There's no Ashton Genty there, and even if he was, he playing against like major teams like that. Like when he played Penn State, he didn't show anything there. So I just don't think that Boise State has enough. I think that they might win by 28-35.
Yeah, Boise's always the offensive team, though. But we'll see. Notre Dame's got to play some pretty good defense, at least.
Is it in South Bend?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's probably why they're getting a 21. It's over. No, talking about being over. Kent State is playing number 5 Oklahoma. The line there is 45.5.
I'm going to say because John Mateer is not in the game, Kent State has a shot in there.
You
You know
think
what?
so?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. There's no
I was
way.
gonna say, dude, you're taking a shot in the dark. Let's see.
They got a
We
shot,
had
all right.
yeah. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are playing Houston, and they are favored by 11.5. Nobody's talking about these Texas Tech and Texas A&M being in the top 25. They're kind of sneaky
Texas
good.
A&M looks really good.
Yes, they do.
They beat Notre Dame at the last minute, and
Mhm.
Notre Dame, the two losses were tough losses, very tough losses. And so Notre Dame's a really good team. And so Texas A&M is definitely a scary team. Again, another game that LSU has to face. I don't want to see them. We lost to them last year. We may lose to them this year. Uh, I like Texas A&M in this game.
Well,
Texas
that's
Tech
Texas
is
Tech.
good.
Yeah, yeah. Texas Tech is the one that is playing. What you call
Oh,
it?
so
Yeah,
they're not playing. They're
yeah.
not playing Texas Tech.
Texas A and
Yeah.
M is playing Mississippi State. Yeah, Texas A and M number 6.
Who?
Texas A and M is playing Mississippi State. They're favored
Mississippi
by
State is a surprise team.
yeah. Well, they have them as a 16.5 point favorite for a
Who's
surprise.
favorite?
Texas A and M.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Mississippi State has been surprising folks. Did they lose a game yet?
Yes, they have. They're 4-1.
That it was the last game. Yeah, it was the last game they lost. But other than that, they surprised a lot of teams. They shouldn't be 4-1. They're never 4-1. They've been 4-1 since I can't even remember. It's been a long time. Maybe when Dak Prescott was there. I don't know, but they're good. They're actually really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset here.
Mm,
But
okay, down
I'm
for an
going to go with
upset.
Texas A&M, huh?
I'm gonna go with Texas A. I'm gonna go with Texas A&M, but
With that
I
said,
can
I'm
see
going
the
to go with
upset.
Texas A&M.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to take Texas A&M.
And we have the Minnesota Gophers taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Of course, I want to say something else, but I'm not going to. And Ohio State is favored by 23.5 points. That should be pretty easy game for them. Yeah, I don't see Minnesota giving up too much on that one. Let's see. Other than
Pardon
that,
me, but
those are
if I
the
unalive all the Gophers, I believe they're going to lock me up and throw away the key. Gophers, you idiot! Gophers.
So that's the top 25 that we have playing right now for tomorrow's slate of college football. Sunday slate is got the Minnesota Vikings playing the Cleveland Browns in London. Game is hard to predict. They got Minnesota by 3.5, but dude, Minnesota's missing everybody but the water boy right now, and he might come in and play. I kind of like Cleveland in this one. I'm slowly switching over to Cleveland. I know Cleveland don't have the greatest offense, but they do have Gabriel starting. See how he has, if he does he does a Jackson Dart impression, they'll be fine. But their defense is bar none way better than what Minnesota's offense is right now. So I'm gonna have to go with Cleveland on that upset.
Yeah, the right now the Vikings are nowhere near what the Lions are, and I know the Lions uh, ran the score up on the Browns, and that's what got Joe Flacco benched. But with
Mm-hmm.
that said, there's a great opportunity here for them to bounce back. And I think most teams, like if you look back last week, the Giants rallied around Jackson Dart, even though they did try to find ways to lose that game against a great team and the Chargers. They still won. They got the victory.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland may do the same thing around Dylan Gabriel. And if we looked at Dylan Gabriel in the preseason, he actually looked really good. He can throw the intermediate throws. He can run the ball when necessary. And I think Kevin Stefanski can definitely curtail an offense for him. It's just going to be questionable about whether or not their running game is going to be any good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm with you. I'm going to go with Cleveland with the upset here, and I think Cleveland's defense is going to give Carson Wentz wins some fits because he's not a mobile quarterback. He's going to have some issues trying to get. I mean, he lost his first and his second center. He's going to have to play in a shotgun and throw the ball as soon as the ball is in his hands. He's going to have to carry a shotgun,
Right.
to defend himself. We're going to go back to the last Boy Scout with Billy Blanks. So I don't know, man. I just really think it's going to be some trouble with Minnesota. And it's unfair to Justin Jefferson. Then you have a superstar wide receiver, and they can't get over the hurdle. They just can't get over the hurdle. And injuries, unfortunately, is bad luck. Trust me, as a Saints fan, I know last year was utterly terrible, as Charles Barkley was there.
Terrible. All right, so let's see. A couple of games of the week. It's really a bad slate this week. It really doesn't have any really good. Tampa Bay and Seattle. Tampa Bay is going to Seattle. Seattle's a 3.5-point favorite. This is one of those games that's right on the tilt for me too, because Bucks are getting some players back. They're not giving Mike Evans back, but they are getting some other players back. And Seattle.
Did Godwin come back already?
Yeah, Godwin's been back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but with that said, I'm still not. I got to give Seattle their props. They just look a lot better than I expected. I mean, especially look, the Saints. Everybody's gonna look a lot better than I expected against the Saints, and that's my team. I'm not putting them down. It's just they're not good right now. But with that said, they're like maybe a couple points away from being undefeated. That San Francisco game, they really could have won that game as well. I just think that the 12th man is actually doing well for them again too. The 12th man for whatever reason seemed to have lost their luster over the past few years, but they look good. They look really good, and I think Sam Darnold is doing well there. His revitalization in Minnesota has served him well. He got paid, and he's doing well in Seattle. So I like Seattle here. I think they're going to win this game.
And this is another game that's going to be interesting. We have the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chiefs are favored by 3.5. I kind of picked the Chiefs on this one because they got some momentum in beating the crap out of Baltimore. Sometimes you just need to beat up on a team to get yourself into a gear. Jacksonville did come off a good win against San Francisco, but then San Francisco had Brock Purdy, and that's a whole nother conversation we should have if mac and cheese is better than Purdy boy. So I don't know. It kind of looks like that. Right now. You paid all this money to Purdy, but then you brought in a backup quarterback that's playing a lot better than he is right now. And
Whoa! Come on. To me, mac and cheese is the same quarterback. He's running the same system. These guys are system quarterbacks. So Purdy was just hurt. I think you got to go with a grain of salt here. Purdy's just a little hurt. He comes back into the game. He can actually play. He can play. I mean, remember, he's Mr. Irrelevant, and he got himself a big $250 million contract. So
he's definitely Mr. Irrelevant right now.
Yes, the injury, but I think due to injury, though. Only due to injury.
Let me ask you, let me put you in a scenario. So what happens if mac and cheese keeps winning games and Purdy gets to a point where do you think that the team will say to Purdy, I said, look, we're not bringing you back until you are 100%, 110% better. If mac and cheese is still playing the way he is, I would think they would keep Purdy on the bench until he is definitely 110% fine. And then
in football, there's no such thing. You get injured. I mean, you're going to always have some sort of injury. But I mean, maybe you're talking about the injury that he has his toe.
Yeah,
the toe injury. I mean, it's he's got the TT. He got a bit of the turf toe for those you don't know what that is. So that's a tough injury to really try to to overcome because no one really knows when you're planning on that foot and that toe is just really hard to play. So, and I think right now, yes, you're going to keep Mac Jones. We keep calling the man mac and cheese. I did call him elbow macaroni because that arm was like noodle when he played for Jacksonville and the Patriots. But he's lighting it up now. I got to give him credit. I got to always give credit where credit is due. So he should play right now. But I like the Jags in this one. I think the Jags are better than we expected. They're right now they're what? They're 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. And I think the Jags go to the 49ers. Oh, excuse me, they beat the 49ers. I think they at home they're going to take KC. I don't think that KC has it for them. KC beat who did KC beat?
They beat Baltimore.
They beat a terrible
Beat the
defense
Giants.
in the Ravens, man. I think they had to me right now, and I hate to put it out there for the Ravens, they hadn't beaten anybody, including the Ravens. The Ravens are 1-3. Regardless of how they got beat, regardless of Derrick Henry's fumbles, that defense is atrocious. And I mean, it is bad. And it's not going to get any better for the Ravens if we're going to go to the Ravens because they're missing a lot of people right now. Marlon Humphrey, they're missing their linebacker.
Roquan Smith, yep.
Yes.
And they're
missing the key ingredient to their offensive engine in Lamar Jackson. They just found out he's not going to play. And you got Cooper Rush. Cooper is going to be rushing like for 100 yards or so, minus.
He's going to be running for his life.
Yes.
Especially against that Houston defense. Now, Houston hasn't been very productive either, but go figure this. Houston's offensive line is not the greatest. Thus is why they're getting beaten a lot of these games because their offensive line can't do their job when they need to do their job. Their defense hasn't been a question. Their defense is putting up some numbers. So in going against this offensive line has not been the best of Baltimore either. Then you don't have Lamar Jackson. You're taking away that, even with Cooper Rush in there, you're still taking away that essence of Lamar. So
the threat of the quarterback run, the RPO.
Yeah.
So with that said, you're probably going to put 8 in the box to stop Derrick Henry and rush Cooper Rush. That's the weirdest thing I just said. Yes. Yes.
That's why Rush is in the back of his name because he's going to be rushing for his life.
Yes.
But anyway, that is going to conclude our show. We just want to put some things out there to get you guys informed. Tomorrow is the debate show that starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. And then on Sunday morning, we have the big football show. Starts also at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch me, my compadre here, James, and also Jack tomorrow for the debate show. And then it's me, James, Keith, and Jack for Sunday's show. Boy, I'm a producer. I'm not getting this together. Anyway.
That's okay. You got it out. You got it out there.
I'm supposed to be the dope producer, but I'm not being dope enough. Okay. Anyway.
Because I'm about to say he's on dope, but no, that's not true. That's totally not true.
Sleep deprived is more like it. Yeah. well, thank you, Pink Fan, I'm glad that you sat here and endured us for this hour. Anyway, everybody have a very good night. Have a great weekend. Catch all the sports that you possibly can. If you got to hide in a hole or something to go see it, you know what I'm saying? If you get away from adult life, just go right to the sports. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Peace.